And my bigger goal, which is probably pretty ambitious.
I love this one. Hit us with it. It's good.
It's to get an investment property before I turn 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going once, going twice, sold! You're listening to The Property Pod.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Property Pod, your weekly engagement into real estate here in the Hobart Marketplace. I'm your host, Aaron Horn, and it gives me great pleasure to be joined by Johnny Mack. But you're not on your side of the desk, you're on my side of the desk. What's going on here, J-Mac?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Do you feel out of space?
I've got the Twilight theme song just going through my head. It's freaking me out.
The Twilight theme song or the Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone. Yeah, sure, the Twilight. Why not?
Just love me some of those vampires.
Oh, yeah. Give me those sparkles.
So, mate, you're on this side of the desk because we've got a special guest coming in, and I wanted to give him pride of place. Like, I often think of your spot as being the premier spot for framing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, I say it
Sweet.
every week. You look the sharpest, so I want to give it to our guest. You're not going to believe our guest today. Our guest is a 15-year-old, the youngest person we've ever had on our podcast.
Nuts.
And I am going to tell you this, he is a whole lot smarter than both of us.
I would think so. By looking through the notes were in preparation yesterday, I was like, oh, Jesus. It's that thing, that old head on young shoulders, but sometimes there's like young heads on young shoulders and they're still crushing it.
Oh, yeah. No, look, this is, Tom from Tom's Money Magic. He's coming in to talk to us, 15-year-old who has his own, investment YouTube series and website with information, kind of stuff we've been aiming to do for years of giving information back to the people. We've had a 15-year-old who is...
Beating us to it.
Yeah, he's beating us to us. And, let me tell you, it's an amazing conversation. The guy's got a bunch of stuff to say, and, I really, really think that everybody's going to get something out of this episode. So what we'll do is we will cut away to Tom for some tomfoolery.
No.
What we will do is we will cut away and we will have Tom on the podcast just after this.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the show, Tom from Tom's Money Magic. Thanks so much for coming in, my friend. You're a local YouTube star and curator of your own educational website, all based around helping kids and young adults become financially educated. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I've just come in to try and explain what I do and help you understand what I'm trying to achieve with my channel.
Yeah, I love it. I only found out about it yesterday. I've gone through a bunch of your videos. They're really, really interesting, really engaging. So, Tom, can you explain to us how exactly you got into the finance space and investing space? What's your superhero origin story for?
When I was only 9 years old, I saved up for an entire year to buy my own laptop. So I asked for money at my birthday and for Christmas, and went around and made some muffins and sold them to people nearby and did lots of different jobs to try and earn money that year. So then over the next 2 years, my mum gave me some finance books to read, and the main thing that caught my eye was that through investing and building up passive income and all that, you can get to a stage where you don't actually have to work anymore.
Yeah.
But you can keep doing it, just doing what you love and only doing it a few days a week if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, look, I loved when I jumped onto your website and watched your very first video, I loved the bit where you're kind of like, yeah, you can get to a point where you don't have to work, but if you love what you're doing, you still will want to do it. The thing that always blows my mind is kind of this idea of, I want to retire by the time I'm 25. So what do you do for the rest of your life? But if you found something you love, which seems like YouTube is something that you're really into, you might be doing it you might be the next Mr. Beast. Who knows?
Exactly. Well, and with that too, what you're talking about is with retiring, is that you're just giving yourself choice. So at some point then, I guess the message that we're given when we're young is that there's a specific path that you have to take. And what you're suggesting is, well, maybe not.
The retirement could then be rearranged just to mean it's the point that you get to where you don't actually have to go to work anymore.
Yep.
It is having the choice to either go to work or stay at home and do basically whatever you want.
Well, I even saw one of your videos was you can earn money in your sleep. So, you're staying at home and earning cash that way. There's ways around it. So, I really loved going into the channel and finding out some of the stuff. So, can you give us an idea about the website and how you put it together? I know you mentioned on there you've got some specific goals in mind. I saw a small one, which hopefully we can help you achieve. The second one, John probably could help you achieve. Can you run through your small and your large goal just for all our listeners?
So the small goal is mainly through what I want to achieve with my YouTube videos and all that. So I wanted to try and get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube so I could try and help and educate more people and get my teachings across so that more young people can understand all of these different concepts and live better knowing what they are doing with their money and how it all works and all that.
For sure.
And then my bigger goal, which is probably pretty ambitious.
I love this one. Hit us with it. It's good.
It's to get an investment property before I turn 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How is it going? Are we feeling confident that it's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident at the moment. I got a job at the end of last year and I've been working quite a bit this year, getting quite a bit more money than I thought I was going to be able to with the job. And as well as that, I've been able to do a bit of bookkeeping for my mum for a few years.
Nice.
Just like looking after some of the profit and income statements of her investment property.
Looking at those, profit and loss statements, understanding the behind the scenes numbers aspect of property, was that a part that really fascinated you? Just understanding the numbers?
Yeah, looking through all the numbers, it was like fascinating to me how there's so many different things that all work together and how you can still make an income after so many different expenses through the loans and rates and all that.
So I guess I'm going to go back to the books that your mum passed along to you. I got, Harry Potter, or I was reading like Batman comics and things like that. This is really interesting to kind of scratch this itch of, I'm selling muffins and stuff like that. Like, do you want to go down this path? Can you kind of tell us how you found the books? Were they instantly interesting, or was it something that you thought, I better do this, mum's giving them to me?
It was probably good, the book that I started with, to get me interested. It was called, pretty sure, How to Turn $100 into $1 Million.
Oh, right.
That was definitely probably very interesting
for sure.
a young person to think about having $1 million. And it was also aimed at a younger audience, talking about like getting your first job and how you can split up your money into savings and spending and all of that. So yeah, it really helped to like build a foundation of my knowledge of all the finance things, and I already had a interest in maths, so all of the numbers aspects of finance all really hit home with me.
The funny bit is me and John went to school together, and do you remember the time we got caught cheating on that test together?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty brazen too.
At school now, I don't know if it still have. This is how old we are, and you can help us with this, Tom. Do they still have like maths tests where you can have like an example sheet out with? That's a thing, or is it on a screen or something?
For my brother's school, they have to make their own, but at my school, they just give you a sheet with all of the different formulas on it.
Yep.
So you're not allowed to bring anything in, but any of the main formulas they do give to you, like that's probably deterring the main cheating aspect because you think that you've already got all that you need.
No, that's good because, so John and myself were in the front row, right in front of the teacher, and all the examples that were given to us at the start of the unit were then on the test.
Yeah.
So we both were looking at each other, jackpot, baby, we got this. No one else had an example sheet, so we thought we gotten away with murder. Look at us now.
The only problem is too, though, is that normally I had like C's and B's and D's, and then all of a sudden just straight up like 100%. S rank. Yep. Like, well, this seems a little bit out strange. Then so did my next door neighbour. Like, how convenient, maybe, Well,
there you go. Look, we were just investing in our future in a roundabout way.
We're hustling. We're hustling.
Talking of school, I guess this is a really good point of where I'm trying to go with this is there's a bunch of stuff in school that I wish I learned or that I wish they taught, whereas I guess coming from yourself, you're doing these video explainers. Are they explaining some of this stuff in school, or are people at school coming up and being like, Tom, like, give us the details. What shares do I need to buy? Where am I getting my crypto from?
A few times I've probably had to try and deter people away from asking me about like shares to buy and that because I'm obviously not qualified and I could get into trouble if they lost lots of money on it. They would obviously not care if they made lots of money, but I can't.
No, I saw the disclaimer on the site and I really liked it.
I can't confirm that they will make money if I tell them what shares to buy.
Indeed.
But then also we do have a commerce class at school from year 9 and 10, and then it goes into economics and business studies through year 11 and 12. But it's all optional, so not everybody in the year actually gets to learn about all these key things. And there are a few financial maths things that you learn in maths, but that's just like compound interest, simple interest. It's not actually learning what they're applied to or what you actually do with them.
Yeah, I remember you say the terms and they jump into my head. Tax time rolls around and I'm just like, oh man, why didn't they teach us this at school? It makes no sense.
Well, see, and then I really like that part where even in that book that you started with, it's like, well, what do you do with your first paycheck? And all of a sudden you've started to help yourself understand, well, there are ways that you can, what do you do with the $100 that you just earned? And then how do you split that and what do you look for and what's next? Yeah. And I know, like with the, with those books that you started with, what was your next deep dive that you wanted to go to? I know we were chatting earlier about you learned this little bit, but you need to learn more before you start teaching. What was your next step then?
After I started learning about all these different things, I was then we found like a investing app that kind of helps you invest. It's called Raise. It was called Acorns at the time, and you basically use it as a normal bank account. You can deposit money into it, but instead of just storing it as a bank account, it then splits up your money into around 6 different ETFs. And then you can also choose a level of like aggression. So it can either go for really stable stocks or ETFs, and then really...
I'm going to have to stop you. Here you go. This is where you are way further along the path than me. ETFs, can you hit me with what an ETF is?
Okay, so ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, and it's basically a collection of lots of other different stocks on the stock market that a company would put together so that you can just buy one stock, but it's actually like 10, 20 different other stocks, which means that you might not lose lots of money if one company like brings out a terrible product and then it loses lots of money.
Yep.
But then you also still get all the benefits of, you might get some dividends throughout the year and stuff like that. So through the app that we were using, when I got a few dividends, even though there were a few cents, I was still surprised how, even though you haven't sold anything, you're still able to make more money from the share.
Yeah, for sure. That was awesome. Sorry, I just need to jump in again. That was a perfect explanation. That's exactly, anybody out there that is listening into the Property Pod, do jump on Tom's Money Magic, because I'm sitting here having an aha moment just from that explanation. So thank you. That was perfect.
Yeah. Well, what with the next thing? What's a dividend? Because I know that's a form of passive income they're talking about. Is that right?
It's the earnings that a company makes throughout the year. They then can split it up across all of their different shares and pay back to their shareholders. Mm-hmm. But then also some companies don't give out dividends, usually if they're newer companies, because then they use that income to help make the company grow faster. Mm-hmm. So that then you'll see the same sort of income, but it will be in terms of capital gains because the share price would have risen in value.
Dude, can I put you on speed dial? Whenever I get stuck in the Property Pod, I'm just going to be like, hold on a second, I've got to call Tom.
Yeah.
He's going to explain this in the best way.
We'll just have him permanently on while the show's active. It's like, Tom, you're just like a cutaway, right?
Yeah. No, dude, this is so good. Thank you so much for this. I actually saw your video on the dividends with the book. I think Harry Potter might have been your example with that one, but
yes, that was a very old video.
Yeah, no, look, I told you I went way back, and I really enjoy it. I guess like my next question from here is, are you and your friends all in this space? Is this something that you find unique to yourself? Like, are young people jumping onto this kind of financial freedom space, and is it something that you see regularly or?
Yeah. So at first, also with my videos, I didn't really tell anybody about it.
Yep.
But once I told a few of my friends and then start of year 7. They pretty much went out and told everybody in my year group.
Of course, yes.
Cool.
And I saw like spike in viewers and subscribers and that.
Yeah.
And it was probably like a lot people just wanted to see what it was that everybody was talking about. But I think lots of people have actually been surprised at what I know and how they didn't know anything about that. And I've had a few people in my classes like come up to me and say that it's cool that I know that stuff, and I've sent the link to a few of my videos, like a group chat, and then like some people that might like not take it seriously. There's then someone else in the group chat once, which was really good. He came in and talked about how it's amazing how I know all this stuff, and that the other people might end up I know he used a crude example of like they'll end up living in a ditch or something.
Yeah, that works.
But like Tom will be able to understand everything and be really rich or something. That was like some nice feedback that I got.
Yeah, well, not just rich in cash, but rich in knowledge, and it's
Absolutely.
it's just brilliant. I'm blowing out. I'm so pumped about this, and I really want to push forward. Like, Tom is a superstar. So thank you for coming in, my man.
Yeah. One thing I was curious about, because, you know, when we go into a new space learning something new, it can be overwhelming, like which directions does it take? It opens up a whole new set of doors. But, you know, can you remember any specific, you know, aha moments or light bulb moments that really stand out in your mind that really changed the way that you almost view this space?
So what I was talking about earlier is when I originally went into learning about finance and all that, it was passive income and how like you might do a bit of work initially, but after that you hardly need to do any work to still get that income, and you can be asleep while you're earning and all of that. But I've also through looking at some property renovations and doing the bookkeeping, I've learnt that like you can do renovation for pretty little money, and it can make such a big difference to the look of a property and get like much more income through it that you thought would be possible.
Because it's that you're looking at, you're starting to see what a return on investment actually looks like in practice. Is that right?
Yeah. So, like, my mum isn't through property investing. She got a property, did a renovation, and then rents it out instead of just trying to sell it. So you see more long-term effects on how you can change a property and how to make it worth more money, but at the same time earn you more money passively, and then also how that increase in value you can then use as equity to use for other things.
So it's that I like that idea. Yeah, you're making your money work for you, rather than you working for the money. At that point,
I don't mind that. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's how I'm going to get myself out of the ditch, baby.
So I guess from here, what's next? Obviously, the big goal, is 3 years away?
So 2.5 years is kind of the deadline.
Okay, yeah. And how, like, I want it to be 2.5 years already. I want to know if we get there. I'm so excited. I really hope we can help with the other side of things. We'll send this out to the world, and hopefully some people will jump on. But good luck with the small goal, but even more good luck with the big goal.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see that, if you can get access to this information early, just how much further ahead in the game you can be in 10 years' time, or even in your case, potentially 3 years' time, So it's going to be awesome to watch you progress, mate.
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for coming in, Tom. We will be watching closely, and I will definitely have you on speed dial, my friend. You'll get me out of some holes when I'm recording in here many a time.
So then you start charging a consultancy fee, and that's going to add to me. Let's get multiple streams of income there, mate.
Not bad, not bad. What did I tell you, J-Mac? Absolutely blown away by Tom. I cannot tell you how many times in that conversation I was just sitting there being like, oh my God, we are in the room with royalty. Like, let's get on the coattails of this guy. He knows his stuff.
Yeah,
he knows his stuff so good.
No, I think he's spent the time, you can tell, not only just reading about it, but then really getting to understand it well so he can teach it well. There's such a big difference between knowing something and being able to teach something, which is really cool considering he's integrating that at 15.
Well, yeah, look, when he was talking about the app, the Acorn sort of thing, I think I'd heard about that in the past, but like I never thought, I'll download it. And then he's dropping these EFT things. I'm just like, oh no. Like, I'm out of my depth here. I'm out of my depth like always.
But he just pulled you right out, baby.
He did. It was so good. So, look, anybody out there that is listening, jump on Tom's Money Magic over at YouTube. It can lead you to his website there as well. Pretty sure that is tomsmoneymagic.com.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll clarify it anyway. I think one of the cool thing is that he's... I hope opening up these conversations with other young people where it's like, even when he's talking about his aha moment, it's almost like it was just a whole new way of seeing the world. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that's so fascinating because to get that information in early means that by the time you've got good habits as you start into your first career and moving through into your early 20s and late 20s. So he's going to be so far ahead of the game. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah, well, like it was amazing hearing him talk about kind of his journey off mic. We were just talking with his mum and she was saying how, you know, she walked into his room years ago and he was drawing the 1 to 100 factors on the whiteboard.
Just go to bed.
Yeah, couldn't sleep, mum. So
sleep, sorry.
I just squared every number from 1 to 100. You know, that's just what you do.
Yeah.
No, look, everybody jump out there. I definitely will, be reaching out to Tom in the future to try and find out more about, his journey. We'll watch this space. If the podcast is still going 3 years from now or 2.5 years from now, we'll be able to see if that goal was achieved. Or maybe you'll sell him his first investment property. Only time will tell.
Yep.
Thank you so much for coming in, Tom. We will be back next week with even more Property Pod. Can't guarantee the age of the guest or whether it'll just be us talking smack as usual.
I just hope I'll be back in my corner.
Yeah, back in your little seat. How did you feel on this side of the table?
I can dig it. I can dig it. You know,
I can dig it.
Especially when it's just one-on-one. Just feels like it would if you were sitting in a bar. You know what I mean?
Yes, we do need a beer. We missed the ball that one.
Thanks, Tom.
All good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Property Pod. Like, share, subscribe, do all those things that we never tell anybody to do. But if you can jump on Tom's Money Magic as well, pop a subscribe on there, and that will help the young man reach his baby goal, his small goal, and then we'll help him reach goal number 2.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
You have been listening to the Property Pod, recorded and edited by 414 Media House in conjunction with 414 Property Code.
This podcast is general information only, and the thoughts and views expressed is the opinion of our panel, and listeners should always seek then use their own investigation into any topic we discuss to ensure they fully understand their own situation.
It does not constitute and should not be relied on as purchasing, selling, financial or investment advice or recommendations, express or implied, and it should not be used as an invitation to take up any agent or investment services. No investment decision or activity should be undertaken on the basis of this information without first seeking